My name is Bob Diamond. This is the entrance to the world's oldest subway tunnel, which is under Atlantic Avenue in downtown Brooklyn, New York. In the next few minutes, I'm going to be explaining why it's important to bring trolleys back to Brooklyn and reuse this historical tunnel as part of its route. We've all been there, stuck in traffic. Now we're on the verge of a huge change in downtown Brooklyn and on the waterfront that could make it much worse. Less than 60 years ago, Brooklyn had an efficient, inexpensive, and reliable transportation system. What we want to do is bring back vintage trolleys updated with cost-effective 21st century technology. This project is far from a dream. Retrofitted PCC cars already operating in San Francisco, Boston, Philadelphia, and Kenosha, Wisconsin show that they operate safely and are extremely popular with local residents and tourists. They're also available to people with disabilities. They're very energy efficient. For example, it only costs $6 an hour for energy consumption to operate a trolley as compared to $32 an hour to operate a bus for the bus fuel. So really it's a combination of yesterday, today, and the future. In Brooklyn, we've already taken the first step, paid for with federal funds, and completed the first quarter mile of the track and wires in Red Hook. With your support, we can finish the other 4.5 miles.
First stop, Red Hook.
The trolley line starts in Red Hook, which includes a large, low-income housing development. One of the most avid supporters of the project is Council Member Angel Rodriguez, who has made city funds available to the trolley project. He believes that the trolley could bring Red Hook out of isolation.
If you wanted to go from Red Hook to Brooklyn Heights, there's no public transportation to get there. So I think one of the key components to be able to revive the Brooklyn waterfront communities in its entirety is a transportation infrastructure that allows people to go from one community to the other community in a seamless way that works. And we currently don't have that. We have buses that sort of do it, but they don't do it in an appropriate way. I think the trolley would add to that, and the trolley would be the way to make that happen.
Next stop, Heights and Hill.
The Heights and Hill neighborhoods are plagued by constant traffic jams because of an over-reliance on cars. The current transportation system does a good job of taking people into downtown Brooklyn from other parts of New York City. But once there, it's difficult to move around from one area to another. The majority of auto trips are single-occupancy cars, often traveling less than 2 miles.
Well, I think as we begin to see more alternatives to the automobile, I think people will get used to leaving their cars behind and taking alternative methods of transportation.
The trolley will mainly serve to help bring the neighborhoods together. It'll allow people who live in Cobble Hill to shop in Brooklyn Heights. It'll allow people to go to the park, the new Riverfront Park. It'll allow people to get over to Brooklyn Academy of Music. And right now, the only way you can do that is walk or drive or change buses 7 times to get over there.
Next stop, Brooklyn Bridge Waterfront Park.
We feel that part of the loop should service the Brooklyn waterfront. In the next few years, a 68-acre park will be developed there, stretching from the foot of Atlantic Avenue up to the Manhattan Bridge for a total of 1.3 miles. Initially, the Brooklyn Bridge Park Coalition considered using shuttle buses to bring people to and from the park.
A trolley obviously would be more environmentally friendly, and I think there are so many people who are enthusiastic about trolleys and the use of some old transportation systems that are really fun, that I think it would add a lot of aplomb to the park.
The proposed trolley route would run alongside the waterfront park, stopping off at major destinations, including the site where George Washington ferried his army to safety after the Battle of Brooklyn. The area boasts restaurants, a barge that hosts chamber music, and the famous Fulton Ferry building that stands in the shadows of the Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges. As you head into downtown Brooklyn, you can still see the original trolley tracks of the last century. Getting to the business district will be a short 5-minute ride.
Next stop, Metrotech, downtown, and Atlantic Avenue.
When the trolley comes into downtown, it will help alleviate serious traffic and circulation problems. Downtown Brooklyn is one of the largest urban shopping areas in the country. Metrotech, an office complex that by itself houses 20,000 workers, is a huge potential customer base for a future trolley loop. Downtown also houses the Civic Center, the courts, and the world-class hotel. Future development of an additional 12 million square feet of office space will create a central business district of over 20 million square feet. The proposed trolley will provide a direct connection between Metrotech and Atlantic Avenue.
Atlantic Avenue is a very important district, shopping district. It's a cultural and ethnic unique area as it relates to the kinds of foods that you can get there, the kind of shopping that you can do there that you can't find in other parts of the city. So that would, I think, help Atlantic Avenue an awful lot. The entrepreneurs there, the stores there would reap the benefit of people coming there. I'm just happy that my district is going to be included in this project.
The introduction of the trolley loop will bring an economic boost to Atlantic Avenue. Charlie Sahadi owns a Middle Eastern food emporium that after 53 years is considered a Brooklyn landmark.
I think the trolley will bring a lot of people to our street, and I think those people, after coming to the attraction, will check out the neighborhood to see what is going on here. And there are so many interesting shops on Atlantic Avenue, being food on our end of the avenue and antiques and other specialty stores on the other end, that people could find an easy way to spend the day enjoying these shops and enjoying their shopping experience.
For part of the way, the trolley will actually run under Atlantic Avenue in a tunnel that dates back to 1844. This federally landmark structure is believed to be the world's oldest subway, now accessible only through a single manhole. I rediscovered it 20 years ago and have been conducting popular tours underground ever since. The trolley will be an added attraction. The Brooklyn Historic Railway Association has complied with all the funding requirements of New York City, New York State, and the federal government to start construction of the first 3/4 mile in a 5-mile loop. Building the rest of the loop will require a partnership of elected officials, government agencies, and neighborhoods. Assemblywoman Joan Millman has been gathering support.
Well, mostly I've been talking to members of the Assembly, my colleagues in Brooklyn, and they are very supportive of the trolley service idea. And I think that that's going to be an important element because at some point along the line, we'll probably need to seek additional funding to make this idea a reality.
We've come this far with tremendous community support, and we'll need that momentum to continue at every stop along the line.